What's up, and welcome to the NCP episode 31 Roundtable special. And by that, I mean it's just going to be Colin, Hamilton, and I talking about what the heck we're going to do for, I guess we have to kind of iron out, some details on the next two seasons. And we have to have a conversation about it, so we're just going to record it. I got Mr. Meeting here. Colin, how are you doing?
Hello.
How many meetings on the day, Colin?
I don't know. I think 5. I'm the most wide awake person of all time.
Yeah, that was a rehearsed line. And Mr. Late Night too, MLT. Ham, how you doing? Your microphone's not picking up like anything you're saying.
Yeah, it is. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say I actually did just wake up from a nap to join this, so today is really truly Mr. Late Night. But no, it's been a pretty good day, all things considered.
Cool. Well, we can drop any and all formalities. So, season 4, we are good for blind auction. Colin has built the platform for that. And we're going to do game fitness, 7 games, and otherwise the season format, the playoff format should all be the same relatively.
Light. Hold on, my cat just unplugged my microphone. My back. I got assaulted by a feline.
Yep.
The only change I think we were talking about was having number 4 for the SPF for the MLS compete for promotion as well, right?
Yes. I think that we had said first place will auto promote.
Yeah.
And then it'll kind of be like a mirror of 1 through 3 in the SPL, where 3rd and 4th place in the MLS will play against each other for the privilege of playing number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, bonus for number 4 getting in. Number 3 now has a harder time to get up.
Just fine. I don't have any issues with that.
Yeah.
And
a slightly easier time for number 2 to get up, because they'll have the fitness boost potential of maybe being able to set up.
Do we want to alter anything for the SPL playoff format, or were we happy with that?
I think I'm happy with how it is, because I don't really see it another way. I like having the relegation game, and the only thing I would want to do would be add another team to the playoffs, but with keeping a relegation game, that's not really possible.
Right.
Unless somehow someone was in the playoffs and could still get relegated, which is I don't like. So
yeah, or there was some sort of like inter-division play, but that just gets so messy. Ham, do you have any thoughts?
I don't think we should change the top at all. I like that one fine. I'm a little confused about the stamina reset for 2nd in the MLS.
Not reset, but like, I guess it's not even reset at all. It's just their stamina carries over directly. Basically, they only have to play 1 game.
Yeah. Okay.
Versus having to play 2, so it's easier to like set up your team to have enough fitness for 1 series.
But at the same time,
what are you guys referring to? Sorry.
MLS playoffs, the 2, 3, 4. We're looking at the 2 seed. They don't get a stamina reset before the playoff game versus 3 of the winner.
They're
of
in the
3
same
4.
position that Danny was in this season.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
I just think it's a slight advantage to have to only set up your players to play in one series versus having to potentially set up a good captain to play in two.
Okay, I'm
as
with you.
someone who experienced that, it is 100%. Where like I was, like I made the decision to try and like I thought I put forward what I thought was my weaker lineup in the 2-3 game to try and like have the best team in the championship versus Danny. He obviously, I don't know if anyone will be in that position again where they get to like rest starting at like week 8, but like that's the only thing that like he was having to plan for. So I think,
Which I think is good. Like that's why we play the regular season is to get advantages into the playoffs.
yeah,
Obviously, you can have
and no
the
one's getting
upstart Cinderella run, but
and no one's getting a fitness reset.
Yeah, I was gonna say like there's a world where like Danny has to fight for that number 1 spot next season. I'm just saying Danny. It could be anyone, obviously, but and he has to then play the championship game because he made the number 1 spot with his number 2 roster.
well, then you might consider, resting week 9,
Yeah,
trying to get the 3 seed, and then hoping your captain can run the table that way.
I mean, I'm just stating that there's a world where in the championship the 1 seed doesn't have their A lineup.
Yeah,
Or
but
their
almost always
literal perfect lineup.
like the whatever team is playing into that game is going to be at not their optimal.
Yes.
So
The only thing, I think I talked about this with Austin at some point, because we're doing game fitness, playoffs are still going to be best of 5s. I was going to treat it as if it's a best of, if you win in 3 or 4, it's going to count as a 2-game series win. And if you win in 5, then it's going to count as a 3-game series win.
I agree with that, and I'm really glad you thought about that ahead of time because I did not.
yeah. Did you guys like the best of 5s for playoffs this season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
This is a weird side note to go down, but when we're doing like best of 3s in the regular season, each team gets a ban. So it goes ban, ban, pick, pick, and then neutral. Right?
Yeah.
Let's say I'm playing Colin, and we ban the same map and we pick the same map. Do you still go to our neutral map?
So the neutral is really just what's left over.
Yeah,
So
so
the
it
way
goes
it works
ban,
is
ban,
we
pick,
both-
pick, ban, ban, and then leftover.
Yeah. So if you go to like
Does
have-
because I think that Hamilton, I what I'm saying is different than what you said.
Yeah, I'm putting together. So what I didn't want to have happen, and I'm realizing we probably account for like a duplicate, is
so
like
if you go to the roster, or do you have the roster submission form?
I think so.
You go to the roster submission form.
Just
If you go
clicked
to
on
map
season 4
calculator-
roster submission.
It is a season 4 one. Won't help too much.
Where am I going? Map calculator.
No, it's SPL season 3 roster. You're not on here.
I think-
I've gone to
There you go.
SPL
Nice.
season
Now
4.
you're on here.
Go to rosters.
I just shared a file with you.
I will
Unless you
say,
have my whole
too,
file.
it's good that for you to figure out how this works, Hamilton, but also to your question, it is accounted for by the fact that we submit preferences for all 7. If we only did like a couple, then we would run into that problem. But it works.
Austin,
But-
if I share my screen, will you show it? Or can I do that?
I can.
Okay. But will like the stream pick it up?
I can do that easily.
Okay, because I can show everyone who's watching how the system
Yeah.
works.
You mean you guys don't need to see me broadcasting the no consolation logo.
No. Share my screen. You guys can see that. Cool. So this is what the map calculator looks like, essentially. When you submit data, it all goes into this. And then I have this calculator that does this. Let's just take me versus Garrett as an example. So this was all of our picks in order. And so the way, I don't need that actually. The way it works here is this line. I don't know why I picked this one. I'll make it bright green. So it goes first ban. So if the first ban was Garrett, he banned Sandtomb. Sandtomb's off the table. I banned Dump from here.
Yep.
And then Pick goes from here.
Yep.
I pick Crystal from there.
Yep.
And then whatever. The next ban available. Dump's already gone.
Yep.
We're just going down from the right from Garrett's. Dump's gone. Crystal's gone. The next ban available for Garrett is Thunder. We
Okay.
can start from the right. For me is Vanilla. And then the one remaining is Wastelands.
Okay. What I was worried was if I picked like Lava, Vanilla, Wastelands, but for some reason it didn't account for like duplicates,
No,
we'd end up in a world where you just picked the neutral leftover, which in my mind was a possibility to always be the same, or you only picked like the home team's neutral or something like that.
Yeah. So if we look at this one here, just trying to find an example. Freddie versus Austin had pretty similar picks.
Yeah. Okay.
So when ban Lava, ban Thunder, Sandtomb here, Wastelands there, and then they all banned all of these ones. I don't know why that says Storn, but and then they ended up with Dump.
Yeah.
Oh, I know why that says Storn, because this isn't pulling actual data. It's pulling from what Austin typed in the finals.
Oh, that's her playoffs.
Yeah,
Store.
Storn.
All right. I know that this is not something that is new, but
Yes, I think it's good that everyone knows how it works.
Yeah.
okay.
Little look under the hood for if you're an audio listener, you can turn on video right now and see Colin's thing work in the background, which is way more graceful than the way that I used to do it manually with color coding. But yeah, no, that's
Colin.
good. And then it's a similar type of thing that works for the best of fives, where there's no issue with that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Thank you for showing. I appreciate that.
Yep. That's season 4. Look at the script out. That's the fake. That's the no one look. That's the fake website.
Shield your eyes.
Yeah. Well, we just have no data. I did make the schedule though.
Oh, that's sick.
Anyone wants to look. I made a rivalry week. It was hard. I didn't really know what to do with it. There's
This
a couple
looks-
leftover games.
I mean, this looks pretty darn good. Especially
I have
like
to put the most played matchup of all time.
yeah, I went 0-7 this season in that, which is
Oh.
great. It was much closer until season 3.
I realize
Go ahead,
2
Hamilton.
cents. Rivalry week, just because it's been out there, can go across division and might not count towards your record. And that can be. I'm sorry. This is me just looking at rivalry week and going. I think there's a couple lineups that I might, or a couple matchups I might change. If
I
you
mean,
could go across division.
in theory, yeah, across division, I would change some things, but I didn't want to put an extra week on the schedule.
Yeah, that would be like a. I think that would make things unnecessarily complicated. I mean, we could. The only thing that I would say for that is if we wanted to do a preseason week, that didn't impact fitness and then could have cross-conference games. But I don't know if we care to do that, but I think that's the only way that would work.
A little. how, about this? Everyone can. It's gonna be so dumb. You can schedule, a cross conference, scrimmage played out on your own time. Everyone downloads the mod. Try out some things with someone else. Test some strategies out.
I agree that'd be nice, Hamilton, but I don't see how that doesn't break things if it's in the middle of the season.
It would have to be something like we basically didn't even record data for too, is the other half.
Yeah.
I think that's as good of a schedule as you can get in the conferences to have.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So we pretty much have season 4 like in isolation figured out. Well, I guess not really, because we still haven't, I think we were going to discuss what we want to do about the sidekick pool
I was
of
thinking
pro
about
rel versus 4-4-4-4-4.
Let me find you guys can see the chaos of everything. So this is what it would look like if we didn't do 4-4-4-4. Which I was thinking about it, and I kind of like it. I kind of like having the conferences be a little different. But I don't know.
The one interesting thing about if we were to do pro rel sidekicks and also do the transfer market is then you could make speculative bets on sidekicks value. But that also is like there's so much stuff that could happen where, like, let's say you have 2 Monties and then like 4 Monties promote and then they lose value. So it's like what happens in the other conference could devalue what you do. So it works and it doesn't work. So do you guys like the diversity that the pro rel sidekicks adds?
I do.
Watching Colin.
Okay.
Don't
Why is
worry
this
about
working?
what I did. I don't know why it's not working.
I mean, if you were in the position where you were going to play in a league with 6 toads, does that excite you?
It's a lot of toads. It would excite Dave.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, I mean,
And
you wouldn't have
beyond-
all the toads out all the time. There'd just be slightly more toads.
Yeah. So also, I'm sorry. I'm gonna pay attention this time when you make this claim. What's your issue with it coming up around the transfer market? Is you're saying that like you could predict?
So let's say the 6 toads is a good example. Well, this is like this is the reverse. This is actually when it's good. So there are 6 toads in our auction for SPL this season.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I think it's reasonable to assume that toads will be cheaper than if there were only 4 of them, right? And let's say next season 4 toads get relegated and I have 2 toads on my team, they will have now risen in value for the transfer market. First off, I think we got to clarify, do you guys understand what the transfer window is? Or I'm going to call it free agency because we already have trades and transfers.
So you're saying for the transfer window, I'm just gonna try and explain it to confirm that I understand it.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, everyone's player becomes a free agent again, and the minimum bid is what you bid last season.
Right. It's restricted free agency where unless you decide to release them, you still have them on their team for that price that you bid.
Okay. So, going down to your analogy, let's say I've got two toads on my team, and somehow David gets relegated with four toads on his team. And so we go from six toads in SPL to two toads in SPL, and they're all mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they would rise in value. But if I choose to keep them on my roster, doesn't that make it so they don't really rise in value because no one can bid on them?
But other people, it's restrict. Other people can always like it's essentially just a live auction. So like if I have two toads and I paid 7 for both of them, and someone could pay 8 and take a toad, someone could pay 9.
We do a balancing at the end of the season where we don't take the like exact value, where we take like the average across both leagues or something. So it still is based in something. I don't know. But then individual sidekicks would have like every sidekick of the same character would be the same price, which I don't know if we want or not.
So in my idea, anyone can take a person on your team if they outbid you. Does that make sense? How you free up
Yeah.
budget is by releasing them, but they're never like fully safe. But someone has to bid more than what you paid for in the season 4 auction.
Yeah.
I've got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just do a whole new auction?
That was also
Like for season 5.
Yeah.
Well, that was because I liked the idea of the free agency.
if we were doing like character relegation, it would probably be a full new auction, right?
It would probably have to be. So that's why I was saying, like, kind of like the choices between the free agency window or pro rel sidekicks, just with another blind auction. Because really, all the free agency is that is a live auction just over the span of a week.
Yeah.
It's just dressed up under a different name. So I just had that idea. I thought that it sounded cool, and that's what I was rolling with. And then I suggested the idea of pro rel sidekicks, and y'all thought it was cool, but it kind of doesn't really synergize with that well. So we could always just repeat blind auction with the pro rel sidekicks, and that system works. It's just kind of what do we want to do? Are we more interested by having the different metas in SPL and MLS, or are we more interested in the idea of trying different auction/draft formats?
I hate that we have to decide it now and that we can't see how the auction goes first.
Well, the thing is, what if, I mean, we can just, I think, as I'm saying this out, I'm thinking out loud. I think it is easier to reset to the 4-4-4 at any season than it is to try and convert. Like if we plan on the free agency window, I think that influences how you act in this auction.
Yeah.
But if you like, the vice versa isn't true. So I mean, I am interested by pro rel sidekicks enough where we can just plan on doing that for the next 2 seasons, and if it sucks at some point, then we can always just revert.
Yeah, just send people back and make up if we wanted to do. If it sucks, we could. I mean, the continuity wouldn't be as good, but we'd send it back to 4-4-4, and we normalize out the budgets for everything to make it matter, like you know, the obviously Toad's the extreme. So you take some of the prices of the Toads and stick them on, and redistribute the price of the Toads in MLS to the prices of the Toads in the SPL, but then make it for. I'm not making any sense, but I think
I think you
pretty
just start
good
over
way.
with a clean slate.
I
Do a re-auction and then start over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already would be re-auctioning from scratch with the ProRel
Yeah.
format. That's the only way that works.
Yeah.
So just at any point after the season, if we say like, hey, like we want to try this in the future, then we would just do that.
But the contract.
Can you I'm can you just explain to me what piece I'm is exciting is not the nicest way to phrase this, but I'm just missing the incentive to do the um transfer window.
So I think the thing to me that's coolest about it is it creates continuity across seasons in a way that's traceable that we lose if we just re-auction from scratch every time. Obviously, there will be people who blow everything up, and that's cool. There will also be people who get to retain cores in pieces, and it kind of creates like a live economy that shifts season to season depending on how different characters perform. And so that's the piece that I think is cool that we don't currently have and wouldn't have with ProRel.
I see. I see.
And so, I mean, like,
So
I think the thing is that, sorry, I'll just make this point quick. I was just saying, I think it's a win-win. I think both are cool. So,
yeah. I sorry, I'm just still trying to wrap my head around the transfer window. Um and I'm just gonna try and go down an example. Sorry, Jacob, but like Jacob overpays for Yoshi, so that way every single season you can have Yoshi. You have to essentially blow your bank to take Yoshi off of Jacob at this point, unless Jacob decides he doesn't want Yoshi anymore and puts him out and releases him essentially.
Yeah.
But Danny takes Bowser in season one off the silent auction, silent blind auction. I think that's the right terms.
Yeah. Blind
Um,
auction.
and then Eric goes, "No, I want Bowser in season two," and therefore has a window to literally bid against Danny for Bowser in the following season. Is that correct?
In a
yes.
less blind but more silent auction.
Mm-hmm. What is so my
I
question? What happens when Eric and Danny are bidding back and forth for Bowser, and Danny submits a last second bid to outdo Eric for Bowser, and does Eric also need to be saying, okay, if I lose, like, does there need to be like I've paid a lot of money for Bowser, but I've also hedged a bet and outbid someone for the
Well, I
bid?
think like anything you bid and don't win, you would still have that money.
Yeah.
I think maybe there would need to be a second wave where you'd be like, okay, now everyone who's on a roster is frozen and can't be released anymore, and everyone who's currently still unsigned would then go to the back to the standard auction style. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I think you'd have to have like a period where you can no longer poach. It's like there's like a locked in auction thing. Like there's a locked in live auction. There's locked in free agency. Sorry. I was just trying to find a term that distinguishes it, like free agency, which is what we're talking about, and then kind of like Colin said, there's like a second wave where it's just the people who are unsigned. That's
And
that.
so you're good.
I was gonna say that's there are definitely like things about it that would be difficult, but we also have an entire season to plan for it. Is kind of why, like in my head, I was like, we will figure it out.
Hmm. And so now I'm gonna go. Your reasoning that we can't do both is that individual player prices would fluctuate greatly between season and season.
Yes, due to factors completely outside of your control, which is how those characters perform in the other division.
But that would still be kind of fun.
So let's say the toad on your roster skyrockets in value. You've got to figure out how valuable that toad is to you to decide if you want to keep him or not.
Yeah,
You
like
can
if
either
you
offload another player.
Let me pause and just flip this where your characters, possibly multiple, devalue.
Okay.
Because that's where I see the problem. And where I
Well,
and I
then
wouldn't want to
you
be in
if,
that position.
so let's say you're in the MLS and you get promoted with a toad. And you spend a lot of money on a toad. You go up to the SPL. Somehow none of the toads get relegated. Just for in this hypothetical, there's now
Yeah.
7 toads. Your toad that you spent a lot of money on, since there were only 2, is now basically a dime a dozen. You would then just, you release him. I guess then you'd have a decent chunk of change where you could, go after a different toad for less money or someone else's player.
That's true.
I also would state
I feel like there is some
only
I think that situation you become like I feel like there is some situation where you become broke completely out of your control. But go ahead, Hamilton.
You should
only
always have 100. If you dropped everyone, you would
Yeah.
always have $100 or whatever.
True.
only sidekicks can be. I'm worried about keeping people now on your roster with a promotion with captains.
Oh, because you can't keep your captain.
In my mind, the and this was before pro rel sidekicks was a thing. Like, if we were to do
That's
free
the-
agency, like the free the free age like the promoted and relegated teams would probably just start from scratch. But they would just come in with a full budget.
Then they got to poach. I guess there'd be a crop of free agents from the people who got relegated, but they're not going to be good because they were on the relegated team.
Yeah,
I think that's.
But also they could just be like, fuck it, I'm
serious
bidding 90 for Bowser,
Yeah.
and then they'd have shit sidekicks.
I
mean, they
don't
could.
like that.
I mean,
because
anyone could do that
it
anyway.
puts
Yeah.
Everyone in a. I think it's weird that 2 players are in a different situation than the other 4.
I mean, so I'm
Well,
just going to counter with if you get promoted to the EPL, everyone who just got demoted is you're buying for cheap. Everyone, you can make a transfer off other teams, but it tends to be more expensive. But you tend to be buying more because you have a larger influx of cash all of a sudden. It's the same total value in this situation, but like
Yeah.
everyone's. I'm just gonna throw out there that everyone's still available to you. Everyone's
Yeah.
still available to everybody. You just have some people are more inclined to go poach than others, which I think is arguably more exciting because then people actually have to deal with getting poached and how to financially make those decisions.
And I guess you can fight back against the poach.
Yeah.
And also too, I think to that point, I kind of like how pro rel sidekicks are now playing the free agency, because then the promoted / relegated teams would have some sort of base. Yes, they would. I think they'd have to lose their captain, but you still have your core of sidekicks, and if you have a nasty core of sidekicks, then like you could be in a good spot.
There's one scenario where you could keep your captain, which would have happened this season.
The demoted captain is the same as the promoted captain?
Bowser Jr. went up and down.
So then the person would have the option.
So yeah, so Dave this season would have, in theory, could have kept his Bowser Jr.
I'm very okay with doing both. Is what I'm gonna say.
I think
The
we could combine
flip
them.
side of this is I'm very worried about what we're asking Colin to do.
Don't worry about me. No,
Um,
don't worry about old Colin. Look
I,
at what am I sharing?
I mean, at the end of the day, we can always just do some manual BS on spreadsheets, and it will be clunky, but it'll work in the world where Colin doesn't want to give us free labor forever. So, you guys have convinced me that both can coexist, and I think actually in a way that I am even more excited about.
nice. I'm glad we had this conversation because at the beginning I was like, why on earth are we doing the not transfer window? What are we calling it?
Free agency.
Free agency. Yes, sir. I'm broke.
I forgot that was
And
still
then the more we talked about it, the more I'm like, this is awesome, and I really want to do both. So I like that plan. Is what I'll say. I like the plan of doing both.
This also, I was banking on getting like so much auction information from y'all in the MLS, and now that is completely screwed.
I also think that makes it a lot more fun, though. It's like you can't go, oh, this guy's worth this much. Because also, like, Dave's going to value a toad more than some other people.
Yeah, it's also funny that it's also funny that Dave promoted into the Toad League.
Well, that he promote. Where do I have it?
Did he have 2 or have 3?
Dave promoted two toads and a boo. Oh, by the way, everyone can see this, right?
Yeah.
This is the list of player movement. I can't figure.
Nah, the pro rel is kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie.
This is the list of the player movement. We did put a clause in there that if you were voted as an all-star, you go lower on the priority to be demoted if your team wasn't relegated. So like if Freddie had an all-star, they would still be down. But the way I was doing was just lowest in standings, for anyone who's still listening. So in theory, Mr. Monty would have gotten demoted, but he was voted as an all-star, so instead Big Nosh is going down. Just kind of tragic for Big Nosh. But
even still with pro rel sidekicks, Big Nosh is going down.
Yeah. Austin, you have 3 relegated sidekicks.
Dude, we were so fucked. We were in the championship.
Well, Dave brought 2 toads up, so another toad had to go down. And a Monty went up, and all of the Monties were either champions or Mr. Monty. Also, your Luigi went down.
My Luigi didn't do that much. The only thing he did was beat Eric.
But you know who's in the SPL? The kids going up.
Okay, so it also is important, not that I think people are listening, let alone a majority of the league, that this knowledge does impact how you draft ? Or how you auction, because in theory having like your extra, so I was going to call them coins. What do we want to call the currency for the auction?
I didn't feel like making another currency symbol, so
Dollars.
Okay, fine, we'll call it dollars.
we can do coins, but I guess I get, hold on. Where do I?
Make them Sonic coins.
I mean, we could just. I mean, they're just coin dollars.
Hold on, do emojis work with this?
If you are on audio right now, please turn video on.
Can you guys see when I go to like the
We can see your Google search right now.
can you see the code thing?
I don't think
No.
so.
Okay.
But we're on a ride right now.
Why are
Give me
these
Sonic
coin
coins.
emojis terrible?
Give me Sonic coins.
I need it to be text.
Oh, he doesn't like cookies.
I can't do the Sonic coin unless it's text. What the hell is that?
I would do the money mouth face, please.
We're getting a yellow circle. Oh, I don't actually know where. Oh, this might take me a second.
Well, to my point, I don't know if I don't know if it really matters. Like in theory, if you have excess coins, knowing that they will be like part of your free agency budget is helpful, but you could always just liquidate everything and end up back at 100. So
It's as long as everyone at the end of every season doesn't somehow manage to have more than 100, everything's fine.
yeah,
I think if you have anything left over, you'll carry it to the next season. Right?
You'll carry it to the next season, but if a player
You're like-
increases in value, you don't get like extra coins for that. I want to.
No, but
It's-
I'm just saying, like, if you have, say, we get down to the end of the draft, everyone else is done. You put your bid in for 1 coin. You have 9 coins left over. You don't just lose those 9 coins. You
No, yeah.
still have them.
yeah, you have them for free agency. Okay. Well, that's what we needed to have figured out in terms of season 5. We don't really have to figure out anything else in terms of season 5 now. But that was like the one thing that we needed to have ironed out as soon as possible.
How does that look?
I think it looks good. Yeah.
Not really a coin, but I need it to be in text. So it's kind of the
That
best
looks
I
good.
can do.
Yeah. No. Once you call it a coin, then it's like, yeah. Before you call it a coin, it's just a yellow circle. But I'm like, that's a coin right there.
Colin, I'm gonna drop some quick Excel tidbits that I found this week. If you are interested, one of them I'm certain does not work in Google Sheets, and you may know these already. So, first of all, if you hit F2 in Excel, it lets you enter a cell like hitting enter in Google Sheets, which I enjoy sometimes. Sometimes it's really inconvenient to press F2.
It works in Sheets too.
Okay. I had to explain this to another person who didn't fully understand, but if you hit F4 repeatedly, the dollar signs rotate through what they hold.
Yeah.
Just
They do be
making-
doing that.
Yeah, someone didn't understand that one, so I just wanted to double check. And then this one I know only works in Excel, but if you go to View and Focus Cell, it like highlights the column in the row, but not like permanently. So you can see like, oh, I'm in row 6 in column E. Or like it would just highlight column O and row 9. So you could like look across and up and down really easily. And
Focus cell.
This is for all our audio listeners too.
Oh, there.
Excel tips.
Oh. Okay, so you can. Okay, that's cool.
Nice for certain things, probably not that needed for like SPL stuff, but like I know that you work in Excel in my mind outside of
I
SPL.
do be working in.
Cool if I ask a strikers question?
Yeah, we're good. Sorry.
No. You are all good. I didn't have anything to say until like this very moment. we had talked a bit more about tracking additional metrics. Um,
Tell us what you need. Truthfully, that's what it comes down to. What else do you want to track?
well, I also want to ask, is that something like towards like in the back half of the season, we didn't really have a lot of extra people? And do we want to risk like adding additional load in terms of tracking inputs
I
and then
I
lose it at
what
some
the-
point in the season?
It depends what the inputs are. I don't think trying to track something live would work. If we wanted to track something like the shots and the hits at the end of the game, I think we could do that. But I
We want
don't
to track.
think trying to track individual sidekick hits or
No, no, no.
The
something
only
like that.
metrics that I am really interested in is like I'm gonna call it
Metric
alts.
attempts.
Like yeah, I was gonna. Well, the thing that I'm interested in is how many like alts convert into a goal and or mega strike. Um, and then
We
also mega strike attempts.
like
I guess
the
would also be interesting.
the
Um,
alt power up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like how many
So
flames convert into a goal and or mega strike? How many like Super Mario Bros like convert into a goal and or mega strike?
Then you have to
the
judge
question
whether
is,
it was the result of the power up that converted it, which for some of them is very obvious, and for some of them is less obvious.
my question to you, Austin, would be, do you like PD uses mud and scores 4 goals, and then PD uses mud and scores no goals? Do you need the 1 to 4 and the 0 to 0 and the 1 to 0, or do you need 2 to 4?
To me,
Like two power.
all that I really care about is that the alt converts into something. I don't care if it's I don't care if they end up scoring 4 on the mega strike or 0 because I consider that to be random. But like the value of the alt is just in its ability to convert into something of value. From my own perspective, like I understand that some alts like are more likely to result in 6 in the red than 4 in the green. But that seems
So
more complicated.
Is Daisy ever gonna have one? I didn't even
No.
did anything.
I'm just trying to make sure that like I don't want to double count and I don't want to like track something that doesn't actually provide useful data at the same time. So that's why I'm asking these questions. So like PD uses mud,
Mhm.
mega strikes, scores 4 goals. That'd be using mud for using the ult. You would want a box that states that he scored while he used mud. And then the mega strikes would be tracked like they normally are.
Yes. So, sorry,
Think,
I'm just trying to think through what you said.
yeah.
I'm just trying to, because like really this just comes down to the fact that I actually think that big has good value. So it's stupid, but I think that there are other things that like we kind of miss, like when we look at captain statistics, other than just like the clear one you look to is like goals per game and mega strikes per game. But I think some other alts have value that we don't see.
What about the negative value? Shout out Diddy Kong erasing half. So you want something like this, where you would want the amount of times Wario farts,
Mm-hmm.
and then you want a conversion, and it's just a 1 or a 0. It's did they convert, did they not convert on that power up?
That is the specific stat that I am asking for in this moment.
Yeah, and then I mean, there's a few other things we could put like Mega Strike attempts. We could pull the stats from the final screen. It wouldn't be that hard.
Oh, true.
Uh, the other ones, not like number of eggs Yoshi pulls. I think we could probably handle that. Ham?
I'm I'm trying to figure out. We can absolutely do this. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it, is what I'm going to say. And I will also
Yeah.
document. I think I will be able to record stats better when I'm not at home this upcoming season.
The
I
other
will find a way to get a hands on a laptop or something.
the other thing is also like as we kind of got more used to like the dual stream workflow, like a lot of the times I wasn't doing shit. Like if I was the person like restreaming, like you're really not doing anything. Like I just have the broadcast going, and then whoever like the only person like it's still really only two people that kind of need to be doing anything. It's the person who's running the sim and it's the person who's doing inputs. The person who is like
Yeah.
rebroadcasting, that really isn't anything. You're just watching.
Mm, the
So,
only thing
Colin,
I
can I
don't
give you
know
thoughts for a second?
my my only
I'm
thought
looking at
is that I
this.
want to just keep adding columns to this because it's gonna get bulky.
I agree that it's gonna get bulky, but I think if we're gonna keep adding it, like inputs, we're gonna have to keep adding stuff. Is all I
Yeah.
can say. Um, and I'm thinking of adding a bunch of columns as opposed to the fewest columns. That way the stats are really good as opposed to just kind of like we're tracking it. Um, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would add a column for ultimate goals, home and ultimate goals away.
So do you want? Hold on. Would you want for that? Would you want like each goal? So if Yoshi scores
Yep.
4, do you want 4?
Yep. And I know that that's not necessarily what Austin was after, but there's a reason for what me wanting to do it this way. And so just hear me out for a second.
There's gonna be a lot of overlap there with Mega Strike goals.
I'm aware, which is why, so put in, just write for me, put in Q if you're willing to break this. If you're not willing to break this, I've got a copy that I've already got going.
Oh, this is fine. There's nothing
Okay.
happens over here.
And truthfully, I would move those inputs to where the goals are. So like I would,
Yeah,
but we don't have to do that right now.
that's gonna be annoying, but I
Yeah,
get
and
it.
then I'm gonna make it even worse on you. I wouldn't do this yet.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I'm scared
Um,
to touch that. I did that a while ago.
home, we could call it combo. We could call it anything you want, but it's essentially when an ult is used and a mega strike is shot. Goals. So I am now differentiating. An ult goal is just an ult goal. A mega strike is just a mega strike goal, and this is a combo of when the two are scored at the same time.
So you're just discounting. You're eliminating. This is basically just the Mega Strike count minus the random, the very few just raw dog Mega Strikes we get,
Correct.
which I guess is also like a star Mega Strike.
Hmm. And then the remaining four
It might be
columns.
easier to count raw dog Mega Strikes and subtract.
I mean, I'm thinking we're counting all of those, is what I'm going to say.
We don't need to count them all individually. We can use math to figure some of it out.
Yes, but I think it's easier to just go. that was this input, input, input. Like
Yeah.
Mario gets big, hits a 4 goal Mega Strike. You go to the combo, you put in Mario, 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 Mario. Then, oh, because like what I'm not gonna count then is like that's not going to be a just Mega Strike goal. So I'm not gonna input anything in the Mega Strike category.
What if? Put that. Hold on. Now I'm thinking because I don't. Now we're gonna get a lot going here.
Yeah.
What if now this I'm volunteering to do work? What if I? No, the only issue is sometimes it's slow. If I put an inputs thing on the website, similar to like where, where's the wafer? Do I not have a wafer? Oh, I took it out first. Why is that gone? I've got to fix that. Similar to this, but not actually like this at all. Where you would put in, game, you put in the map, you put in the teams, and then you would put in who scored, put in what type of goal or whatever other things we need to put in, hit submit, and then we would have a sheet somewhere on here, and it wouldn't look like this at all because instead of having each game in one row, we'd have each goal be. It would look more like this, but then we could Excel it out of there, do the Excel math magic, and convert back into this somehow.
You're looking to crowdsource the inputs.
Not crowdsourced, it would still be us. It would just be instead of typing in the Excel sheet and scrolling all the way, would it be easier to have it as a form with like a drop down of what type of goal it was?
I think the answer to that is no. If I'm
Okay.
still doing all the inputs, I'd rather just I know what that goal is. I can go here and just put in MA.
Okay.
I also
There's going to be a lot of columns.
yeah, especially when you add in oh that you also are gonna have to put in we need the combos for 2 columns. We need ult attempts and mega strike attempts, which is 4 more columns.
Wait, what were the other ones?
Ult attempts and mega strike attempts.
Do we. Oh, yeah, all attempts. There. Attempts. And then Austin also wants conversion,
Well,
which is different.
my question is, if we're tracking its goals, is
But
that
he doesn't
not?
want goals because that's random.
What do you mean by
Ho
conversion
ho!
then?
Next level game!
So it's say you score 4 goals off of an ult, it counts as one. If you score 1 goal, you just rip. PD drops some mud, rips a shot from midfield. That's one. You use big, nothing happens. That's zero. It's only a one or a zero, and it's just the percent of the time your ultimate converts into something positive.
Hold on.
That's what Austin wanted.
Hold on. I'm understanding. If we're tracking though ult goals that are only ultimate goals, the only way for those to populate are one at a time. So if we track attempts and we track goals, the percentage is the
You can
attempts divided
you
by
can score
goals.
more goals. You can score multiple goals in one ult.
Only if you mega strike, which would be a combo. Mm,
but that doesn't.
that doesn't help in that case.
Yeah.
I'm realizing the fuckery now. Sorry.
It's also like, to play devil's advocate, like, this is just another analytic point than like something that actually helps the league function. And so like the more work and the more complicated it gets, the less sense it makes to be putting resources towards it.
I think this is too much. I don't want to differentiate between all that.
Okay.
Yeah. Um
I think in a beautiful ideal world, it'd be cool to have every data point for every goal. But I think we already half the time
what
we're already like, who scored that goal?
what about and this is vastly different than what I was asking, but like what about if we just had someone who documented the basic details from the post game screen?
That was another thing that I thought was I had here. If we
Yeah.
could pull Mega Strike attempts, team shots, and hits from the post game.
I think that sounds pretty simple and easy. That is a pretty like distinguished role that doesn't, make the add any barrier to the person doing inputs or anything like that. And I think that does give some information. It's not what I was saying there. Like I'm not saying that covers that, but it is helpful.
And that's easy to do, as
Yeah.
long as the person running the stream doesn't skip right by it. But
Yeah. Um, cool. Yeah. I don't think that is worth, like, the more I think about it, like I said, that's kind of like a individual value thing than like a league value thing.
I'm okay with tracking like number of times the ult shows up.
The number of time the alt shows up.
But I don't know. I feel like we can also kind of vibe that. Like, I don't know. Yoshi's egg shows up a shit ton. I don't
Yeah.
know.
The only thing I'm actually interested in, well, I don't know. I wonder if like we actually plotted the data points from the post match summary, if they would be influential. But I feel like,
If there's any correlation.
yeah, I feel like they're mostly useless. Like because hits and
It'd be
steals.
kind of funny to see some like team trends though, of like, oh, Dave's team never hits,
Yeah.
or Jake's team just fucking shoots and they never score, or something along those lines. I don't know.
Well, it's like the thing is like hits and steals exist. So it's like there's just
I
two
think two different.
ways of dispossessing someone, and they both work.
Combine 'em.
Um. All right. Well, I can't really think of anything else. I feel very good about pro rel and free agency. I think that's going to be sick. I think also too it's going to be really cool that seasons will now have different identities no matter what we do. like like this is going to be the Toad season in SPL, which is kind of funny. Um cool. Either of you have anything else?
In honor of Toad, SPL.
You're right.
I think it's got to be
Oh,
Bowser colored in SPL is all I'm gonna say.
they're already Bowser colored.
Do you know what it is?
Hello.
Hello.
What are we doing?
Hello. The ending.
we are ending a very informal podcast.
Well, my timing is very bad.
No, it's
Let's
it's
see.
wonderful. One thing that is pretty funny is I started writing the white papers for season 4 in like week 6 or 7, and I just wrote in that Danny will get to protect a map. I just locked in that he was going to win, and I went back to read it this past week, and I didn't have to change anything.
Don't go
The
anywhere.
white paper is
Right.
gonna have to have a table of contents this time.
Okay.
We should also probably make it beefier.
The white paper.
Yeah, like try to make it almost NFL rulebook, at least at the end.
I have a
You know.
surprise for everyone.
Okay. What's that?
I'm gonna
You'll-
preface by saying you're being recorded.
That's fine.
Okay.
That is fine.
Oh, hello.
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 Podcast going crazy. If you're still here listening to this podcast,
It is being
Why?
recorded. Fun fact.
Dave, what are you doing right now? Turn it off.
All right, I'm ending the podcast. We can keep talking, but I'm stopping recording. Bye, Dave.